Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video we're going to do a portfolio update on my junior stocks and shares ISA portfolio that I made for my daughter. We're heading towards the end of the year, so this is a great point to have a look at how this portfolio is progressing. For anyone new here, this is a portfolio I made last September for my daughter, and it involves a really simple investing strategy. Each month, I dollar cost average into this portfolio into a global index fund, which gives us diversification and investing within thousands of companies all over the globe. The aim here is a long-term and hands-off approach to investing, showing how consistency and time can do a lot of the heavy lifting. Since my last update, there's been a couple of small changes, the most notable being the autumn budget, but to be honest, investors have been left relatively unscathed. It was mainly cash savers that got hit. And where junior ISAs are concerned, these were completely left untouched, so we can continue as we are. Market-wise, it stayed fairly flat, which is no issue, and this is completely normal within a long-term investing approach. So in this video, I'll run through the portfolio value, the contributions, and any performance over the last month. So let's jump in and see how my daughter's portfolio has been performing. Okay, so jumping straight onto the Vanguard platform here, straight away we can see that my daughter now has a total value within her portfolio of £2,317.98, which is great. So for anyone new here, my daughter was born last August, and this is an account I opened last September. So essentially a month after she was born. Made a small collection of sort of gift money after she was born, and then decided to top this up every month. Really simple investing approach, which I'll cover shortly. So on this screen, we can see that 100% of the value within this account is within the FTSE Global All Cap Index Fund. The key word there being accumulation at the end. Essentially, all that means is that instead of getting paid a dividend or a share of the profits from the companies within this fund, instead, those dividends in the background are automatically reinvested. So again, making it super hands-off, super easy to use, and it means I haven't really got to check it that often to make sure the money's reinvested. So yeah, super simple, one fund approach here. So if I go into the performance tab here, top line figures, £2,029.10 is what myself and my partner, and from the gift money that we've had, family, friends, since she's been born, birthdays, Christmas, that sort of thing, this is all the money that she's had essentially. So £2,029.10, and since then we've had a growth, if you like, of £288.88. So we've ended up with, like I say, just over £2,300. The rate of return is 23.2%. So we've been investing for, what's this, a year and a few months, a year and 3 months, I think it is, 4 months perhaps. But yeah, on this graph here, you can see where we started. So it started with just £504, and since then we've had regular contributions, slight jumps up near Christmas and birthdays where she's had a bit of a monetary gift. But yeah, ultimately it's going in that nice climbing direction. So if I go into the month tab, let's have a quick look at how things ended in November and also how things have started in December. So we had a really strong, so for anyone who's followed this, we had a really strong August, September and October. So to quickly cover that, earlier in the year we had a drop, climbed back, August was steady, but September and October it really started to shine through. So £72 worth of gains in September, £95 worth of gains in October, but then November and December so far has been quite mixed. It's been fairly flat. I mean, on the whole, minus £16.22 for November. It's not a huge amount, and again for December, £7 so far. The sentiment within the market seems that people are holding back, I think, from investing, and people are waiting to see what's going to happen with various factors such as rate cuts and different government actions. So yeah, interesting really. But yeah, we had an all-time high in October where gains are concerned of £312, and we've slipped back ever so slightly through November and December, giving us that final balance. But as you can see, our contributions have still been regular. So if you're new to investing, seeing a bit of red, you know, every other month or on consecutive months is completely normal. You know, it's not like a cash savings account where it just keeps going up and up and up in increments. You do have months which are down. You know, ultimately it's up and down all the time, but overall you want that kind of line going upwards. So yeah, nothing to panic about here. You can see really here how we've added the £60 a month. So again, for anyone new here watching, myself and my partner put in £60 a month. Quite a low amount in the grand scheme of things, but it's just that regular amount so that we are held accountable for this pot essentially growing. The goal with this portfolio is to grow it to a fairly good size, and this will go to my daughter on her 18th birthday. Yet, obviously, to have that discussion on what it'll be used for, but ultimately it'll be her decision. She turned 1 in August, so she has a long time to have a think about it. But yeah, I guess sort of university fees, house deposit, that sort of thing is what we have in mind, or continue adding to it. That's the kind of goal. And once she's a bit older, probably more of late teens, I'm hoping to use this as a bit of an educational tool to show her, you know, potentially how to manage her own finances and also educate her about investing as well. So gone off on a bit of a tangent there, but yeah, so you can see how we've had a slight decline in the last 2 months, but yeah, ultimately we're still heading in the right direction. If we go to calculations, it gives us a really nice snapshot of the account as a whole. Obviously, there are fees with platforms and certain funds, but in the grand scheme of things, you can see here over the last year and a half-ish, we've had charges of £2.52, so it's really minor. So never be put off with charges. We're still, experiencing really good growth overall. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the following months if we see a bit more of a market rally, similar to earlier this month, or whether there might be a bit of a market correction. But again, all of this is to be expected. Still really happy with these gains so far. And again, I think this Insight tab is probably, if you're a beginner watching this and wondering about, okay, how does this one fund piece work? Well, these funds, such as the one I'm using on the Vanguard platform, have thousands of companies within it. So it means that you can invest in many companies within the click of one button, rather than having to buy them all individually, which would take hours, if not days, to do and be a nightmare to manage. It kind of does a lot of the hard work for you, but also the balancing within that and the weighting between the companies, that is also managed, which is great for this sort of hands-off approach. And for something as simple as this is just dollar cost averaging for my daughter, this is exactly what I wanted. So this is a nice snapshot on the Vanguard platform, which, to be honest, there's not many advantages that the Vanguard platform has over others. But when it comes to sort of displaying the high-level data, I think Vanguard platform is actually one of the best for this. So you can see straight away here, 67% of the money that we've invested in is in North America, and companies within North America. Following that, we've got Europe at 11%, we've got Asia Pacific at 11%, we've even got 4% of this fund in the UK, and then 6% in Japan, and the rest of it is obviously sort of filling the gaps, as you can see, sort of globally. From there, top 10 investments, no surprise, it's the sort of Magnificent Seven, as they're referred to, take up a large piece of this, mainly because such a large portion of the global economy, but also this fund is invested in North America. So you've got the likes of Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Google, Meta, or Facebook, as you may have known it, and even Tesla is in there as well. Really big tech companies which are, at the kind of front lines where innovation are concerned. And again, just a nice snapshot there of the sector allocation. No surprise there that nearly 26% of this fund is within the tech sector, because that's where a lot of the innovation and growth is at the moment. And then a lot of the other industries are fairly evenly split, which again, all of this combined gives us that nice diversification factor that we are looking for. So yeah, just a quick summary there. If you use the Vanguard platform, this is a really great tab to use. So that's a quick update on this portfolio and right before the end of the year. As you can see, there's always ups and downs, but we stick to the plan and stay consistent, and long-term gains is what we're really focusing on here. Now with Christmas just around the corner, we might receive some money for my daughter in the form of a gift. So any value that we get there, we will of course add it to this fund, which I'll cover in the next update, which will be in January. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe. I don't only cover my daughter's investment portfolio on this channel, I even cover my own portfolio and a range of personal finance and investing topics. So if you'd like to check that out, make sure you subscribe. If you found this video useful, let me know in the comments, and also let me know how your own investing journey is going. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.